is here.
Check it out.
And you're locked on to Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio station.
It's my station. It's my station.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. Kicking off the show with the man himself, Bill Armstrong.
It's time to hear from the general manager of the Utah Mammoth, Bill Armstrong, on your exclusive home of the Utah Mammoth, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Big third period last night for the Mammoth. Bill Armstrong, kind enough to join us. How are you, sir?
Hello, Bill.
I'm doing great, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
It's always nice to chat after a big game like that. What fueled that comeback?
It was me yelling.
Yes!
The GM box.
They could hear you.
Yeah.
They could hear you. That's good.
No. We it took us a while. We were when you get off the road and you play at home, there's a little bit of time it takes to kind of get comfortable out there. We hadn't been home in a while, so once we did, we kind of tuned it in the third period, and guys played great. JJ Paterka came out firing, and everybody. I mean, it was a real team effort from top to bottom, and Veggie was solid in the net, so it was a great night for us.
Hey, I wanted to check real quick before we get into the details of this game. Did you get your box yet, Bill?
I want to thank you guys so much. A whole house, a whole truckload of meat showed up at my house, and my wife was like, because I was like, she's like, what is this box here for? And I'm like, just open it, just open. You guys have sent me enough food that we're going to be good for a whole year. I want to have you over the house so we can have a big barbecue. We're gonna cook one of everything.
I love
it.
I love it.
Let's go.
That Bar W beef, man. It's you're going to notice the difference. You know, those cattle are born here in Utah. They're processed in a plant. It's a state-of-the-art plant in Nephi, Utah. And it's Scotty and I's favorite. By the way, Bill, we've eaten a lot of beef in our life.
We consume a lot of beef, yes.
We were both born and raised in Idaho, so we know the beef.
I can't wait, gentlemen. It's going to be a huge dinner at the Armstrong house. We're going to be excited to have you, and we're going to try a little bit of everything. We're going to get our cooks from the team to come in and cook it. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, wow. This is going to be a party.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot to get to here. I want to start with JJ Paterka, Bill, because I just think that this one meant something to him. He goes 2-0 against his former team, one on the road, one at home, scores 2 points last night. Just talk about his performance as he moved into the second.
Well, he's a guy that he can make a difference for us. You know, when he's scoring, we're winning. It's that simple. And he's a guy that's elite with his skating and his skills, and when he has the puck, he's pretty dominant. So I like what he did last night. You know, Coach mixed it up. He put him with Krause and Boehner coming out for the third, and JJ responded, and I thought that line was one of our best lines in the third. But he's a goal scorer. He's a skilled guy. You know, he's a difference maker. You know, he tilts the ice when he's on, and he showed up in the third for a huge game for us. He kind of makes our team go when he's putting the puck in the net. But he's been a great addition for us.
You know, you're down 2-1 going into the fourth period. I'm still stuck in football mode, but you're going into the third. And you know what was really fascinating is that there's no panic. There's no like, uh-oh. You know, this team was never felt like they were on tilt. It was like, okay, let's just take care of business. Is that just the growth and maturity of this team?
It is. And I felt the same way from watching up top. I had a really good feeling about the third period. The team is kind of settled in. They know who they are. And I think everybody was playing the right way. I mean, that's one of the things about our road trip, I thought. You know, we were a little bit in and out. We were playing a lot of good offense, but not a lot of good defense. And we paid the price on the road for it. I thought everybody played really, really disciplined in the right way. And you could feel it. I had a good feeling going into the third.
Yeah, I was doing the math on this too, just looking at the games so far. 5-1 at home. You've got 6 home games as opposed to 11 road games. Just feels like it's a heavy road load to start this season. How much did the home crowd help you in that comeback in the third?
Well, let me tell you something. Our crowds are incredible. You can feel that energy, and we've played a lot of games on the road, 11 games on the road, and I think we've had the third toughest schedule in the National Hockey League. So I think it wore on us at the end of the trip. coming home, you get kind of revived and refreshed, and you hear your crowd go crazy, and they wanted to see a goal badly, and you could feel it in the building, and we delivered. But the crowd is a huge thing for us to play in Utah, and you're in your house, and you practice at your practice rink. It's just we've been on the road. We were beaten up a little bit from the early road trips.
You've been great at home, and I know there's been that adjustment period. You mentioned last year the team wanted so badly to play well that in front of that home crowd that sometimes it may have held them back a little bit. But now they've settled in here in Utah. But the practice facility and the routine in having everything established, how much do you think that's helped in your team playing so well in Salt Lake City?
Well, it really has, to be honest with you. We have elite facilities, just from our video systems to being on ice with the two rinks and all our skills training that we have here at our practice facility out here in Sandy. So it helps. I think when you're on the road a lot, you're not practicing, and you kind of get away from your skills a little bit. So getting home, getting to our elite facility allows us to kind of get refreshed and kind of up our skill and get back to business. So it's been nice to be home.
Bill, one of the most dominant things in the game of football is the victory formation and the kneel down. It's rewarding. It's incredible. And as I watch NHL, I feel like the reward is an empty net and an empty net opportunity. And I haven't talked to you about the empty netters, but
yeah.
What's the mindset with the guys on the ice when that net goes empty? Are they all fighting for the glory and the opportunity to fire one? What is the responsibility and what is the mindset in an empty net situation?
It is a fabulous question. It has changed over the years because somebody that did math in your high school class that was really smart at it figured out it's better to shoot for the empty net than trying to get to center ice and shoot from there. It's not icing. Just shoot from anywhere. The odds are better that your team wins. That is not totally true. So it's kind of skewed a little bit. You see guys just grabbing the puck and they're winging it at the net, and the length of the ice, it's an icing. Before, in my time, you had to make center, and then you had an opportunity to shoot it. But really the object is to get it to center and then take a shot at the net. And I think, as time goes by, there's some guys that can shoot at the length of the ice and put it in almost every time, but there's some guys that can't. So there's a little bit of coach's feel who he's got to put on the ice and how to get the puck and make sure no matter what, it gets out of our zone. That's the most important thing, is that it gets out of our zone. And it's a tricky thing, 6-on-5. Sometimes the other team just wings pucks to the net and they go in. So, but our team was good at it last night, and St. Louis lost a whole series over it last year where they shot for the empty net and they iced it when they had time to make a play to someone in front of them, and they could have put it in the empty net and it wouldn't have cost them a series. So a little tricky with the analytics. I'm not a firm believer totally on shooting for everywhere for the empty net.
I love how much goes into it, though.
Yeah. But the nerds like to get themselves into everything, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Hey, tell us a little bit about Nick DeSimone and what he's meant to your squad, especially last night.
Well, and Nick's our 7th D, and he embraces the role, never complains about it. And he's got a quiet confidence about himself. When he gets in our lineup, he can have a huge impact. He's got a bullet of a shot. He pumped one in from the point last night, and then he also hit the post, jumping up into the rush. But he gives us something that we don't have with most of our Ds. He's got some offensive instinct back there, and he's got a cannon of a shot. So he's come in and given us a little bit of juice and a little bit of excitement on the backside. So he's a big part of our team. He might be our extra D some nights, but he does have impact for our team.
You get another game at home. That's nice. You get to stay at home and take on a good New York team. Just talk about this next game coming up tomorrow.
Well, New York, they're coming in here. They're playing well. They're a solid, hard team. Patrick Waugh does a great job coaching them. They've got some exciting first overall pick, Matthew Schaefer, on that team, and they play hard every single minute of the game. So it's going to be a battle for us. It's going to be another close game. I feel like for us, we've got some rest. We've been home. We're moving in the right way now. So I have a good feeling about the game, and I like how we stack up against them. But they're a hard-fought team. It's going to be a battle.
You guys get to take a breath tonight, and New York's on the road against the Golden Knights, a really tough game. How much difference does that make? How much do you, Bill, as a GM, how much does Coach Bear, how much do the guys look at it and say, okay, they're coming on a back end to back-to-back? How much does it affect a team, and how much do you weigh that as they come into Delta Center?
We try not to think about it because you don't want to, put too much stock into it because there are teams that play really well back-to-back, Some of the older teams are pretty smart about it. And if they can get through the first two periods and keep it close, they can get a little bit of energy from that. So for us, if we can come out and have a great first period, a little bit of the altitude change a little bit, them getting in here late at night and jump all over them, that could help us. But you don't want to put too much stock into that. They've got a lot of veterans on that team. They know how to play when they're tired.
You're 17 games into the season. Do you feel like you got a good feel as to who your team is?
Yeah, I do. I still think when Coach, moves lines around at times, you kind of learn a little bit more about your team. So I don't think it's ever set in stone. There's always things that you can't anticipate that come with different chemistry when people are put together. But you can see who we are. We're a fast team. We're a team that's got to play north all the time, go north as fast as we can and attack the other team's goal. It's not we can't complicate things. And I think that's one thing we've learned in the early part of the season is don't be too fancy. When we get too fancy, it goes the other way and ends up in our net. So the simpler we can play, the faster we can play, the more effective we are.
Well, first things first, Bill, that tomahawk steak, man, just get that thing out.
Oh, yes.
Hit the broiler up. You can get it up to 500 degrees. Really char the outside. Right. Get a nice medium rare. Pull it at about 115, 118 internal, and you're going to love that thing.
Yeah. And just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. That's all you need.
Yep.
Nothing crazy.
Oh, boys, thank you very much. It's unbelievable. We're going to have you guys for dinner, and before Christmas, we're going to have you over, but it's going to be big. I can't wait to eat some beef with you.
Nice.
Can't wait to do it. Thanks, Bill.
There he is. Bill Armstrong on his way to practice, too, as the Utah Mammoth get the win, trailing 2-1 going into the third frame, and they put up a 4-spot and some empty netters, too.
Yeah, they went 5 straight.
Yeah.
Down 2-0, and they put up 5 straight. Pretty impressive performance. And I was listening to the Buffalo broadcast.
Yeah.
And did you hear it? I actually retweeted. I think I retweeted the sound of it. The Buffalo announcers, the Sabres announcers,
I didn't see it.
Said JJ Peterka, something along the lines of per usual or in classic JJ Peterka fashion, was doing nothing, and a puck ended up on his stick and in the net. Yeah, have you heard this, Lloyd?
Let's see if you tweeted it out.
Yeah, I did.
Lloyd, see if you can find it and play that audio. I got to hear this.
I'm going to send this over to Lloyd. I was pretty shocked, and I actually retweeted it with kind of a bit of a jab because J.J. Peterka put up 2 points, and as I mentioned to Bill, went 2-0 against his former team. He's got his payback, and that's exactly what you want.
You know what? Broadcasters can sometimes get a little cranky, get a little upset. Here he is, the call.
Vintage J.J. Peterka not doing anything, and then all of a sudden finding the puck, getting in that shooting lane, and this is what the guy does best, is shoot the puck, and he battled off a couple of guys there, Krebs and Mallon. Vintage
J.J. Peterka.
Vintage J.J. Peterka not doing anything, and then all of a sudden finding the puck and getting it. It's like, geez, man. So,
one thing I've learned about this whole hockey thing, we just naturally assume Canadians were very nice and polite. No, they got it. They got a nasty edge to them.
Oh, bro.
They got a nasty edge.
Oh, bro. That you just don't mess with NHL fans.
No.
I was hesitant to retweet this. I retweeted it, and I said, vintage J.J. Peterka scoring 2 points and 2 wins on his old team. 1 in Buffalo, 1 on his home ice. Peterka's 6th in points in the Utah roster and is only improving. He's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
Doing a ton more than, quote, unquote, nothing. But, you're like, I'm hesitant with the NHL crew.
Oh, yeah.
Because especially when the Canadians sink into you,
yeah,
the Canadiens or the Maple Leafs or any one of them.
Yeah, the Canucks.
The Flames. It's the worst, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And fortunately, I've not been on the receiving end. But, here locally, Utah Twitter Once they get a hold of you, they'll get grumpy, and they make it personal. But as rough as they can be, they don't hold a candle to when NHL fans sink their teeth into you.
No.
That's a turn off the mentions till the end of the year kind of situation there.
So I don't know if it's hit the West yet. I think the East and the South are pretty nasty. I got mixed up with some Panther fans. Even though I'm a Panther guy, I mean, my first love in the NHL was the Florida Panthers.
Yep.
So, but I got mixed up with them. It was the beginning parts of year one, and 15 or 20 different responses. They were nasty. It's like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mess with this crew. I don't know if the West has got it yet.
No.
I haven't seen it with the Avalanche. I haven't seen it with the Knights.
Night fans can get a little salty, but
have you seen some?
But I haven't seen anything. Now you're still getting right up there north, but Vancouver fans can be a little testy. But
so so everybody understands kind of how this works. It's not the same as the NBA. NBA goes off win-loss record.
yes.
NHL puts together a point system.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a certain amount of points per win. You get a certain amount of points per OT loss. It's a point system. And your top point scorers are the ones that are taken into the postseason. And right now, the Utah Mammoth are tied for third place in the Central Division in the Western Conference at 20 points.
Yep.
And, we talk about how many points it takes. It's going to take 90-plus points. For instance, last year in the Central Division, Scotty, it took 96 points. Remember, the St. Louis Blues got on a heater in the Central Division and got to 96 points. Utah Hockey Club at the time got to 89 points. And remember, we were talking about that 90 threshold. It's more 95 to 98 points to be able to secure your spot.
But right now they're on pace. I mean, you're 17 games into the season. You got 20 points after 17. You're nearly 25% through the season. If you could stretch that by the time you hit to 20 games to 23, 24 points, you're exactly where you want to be.
You're well on pace.
Yeah.
And as Bill mentioned, third toughest schedule.
Yes.
11 road games out of the first 17 played. I was looking at it, and I think somewhere in December. Wait, is it somewhere in December or maybe January? They have like a 7-game homestand or a 6 or 7-game homestand. They're going to have a couple of home runs that are going to be real nice. They've got a 4-game homestand coming up. It's like November 20th to the 26th. There's a 4-game homestand coming up. They'll put some hay in the barn here on home ice. I think it's catching on faster and more furious than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Now, people understand supply and demand. The tickets are just going to be expensive. The more this team competes, the more expensive it's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And you can complain about the expense, but understand it is, I think it's the biggest show in town right now. Now Ace Bailey's coming around, and Ace Bailey is going to be spectacular. And, I know we're in the middle of football, and you got great things going on in football. There's no doubt about it. But as far as professional sports, I think it's the biggest show in town.
And we've talked about this a little bit. I think that this is still very much a jazz town, but that jazz fandom is a little bit in hibernation.
It's in hibernation.
Yeah. And so while the Jazz are hibernating, so to speak, I think people are testing out the Mammoth, and they're getting very much falling in love with this team. And I know this is a very poor sample size, but you and I get hit up for tickets all the time. And, some people I try to help out, and some I'm like, I haven't talked to you since junior high. Go away. But I don't know about you, but I'm getting hit up way more for Mammoth tickets than I am Jazz tickets right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. People want to go see the NHL. They want to go see the ice. They want to go see the action. There's no doubt.
And by the way,
you are
Hans and I don't really have that good of access to tickets.
No. Like as in none.
Yeah.
So don't ask.
Yeah.
Because it's none. Now,
Lloyd. Yeah.
Now, if you're an old friend of Lloyd, he does have access. He's the boss man.
Yeah.
But you're right about the NBA fans. They're just in hibernation.
And when Ace Bailey explodes and this team becomes a playoff team, they'll be back.
I think the Jazz are one major move away from being a postseason team and two major moves and a little bit of growth and development from being a postseason contender.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a contender. Just saying getting in there first, maybe second round exit.
A contender for the postseason.
Exactly. So there's not a ton of work. There's some really good pieces. And the more I watch Larry Markkinen, the more I think, just don't let him go anywhere.
Yeah. We had a great conversation with Austin Ainge yesterday, and I asked him about, you've got a cache of picks, you've got assets. When do you feel like that's going to burn a hole in your pocket? How hard is it to be patient? And, his response, and it was a very smart response, is, look, we've got a lot of young players right now. We want to see what we have. You don't want to give up on a guy too soon or have him be a part of a 3-team trade that is just there to make the salary cap work. He goes to another team and boom, he blows up. You don't want to give away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, you just don't want to be that team that accidentally gives up a superstar in the infancy of his career. And so I think that they want to be very careful. They want to spend a lot of time really trying to figure out who they have. And you know what? They'll take their time. They'll really take time to evaluate, see what they have, and then proceed from there. Now, what's the timeline on that? I don't know. It's a good question. When do you feel like you have a good grasp on who these rookies and who these second and third year players are? Another good question. But once they do find out who they've got, who they feel comfortable, who they really want to hitch their wagon to, then I think Austin Ainge wants to wheel and deal and be really aggressive.
Then you know what you can and are willing to move. What do you think of Isaiah Collier?
I think that he can be.
He continues to grab my eye.
And the problem is that you want to be a little careful because somebody is going to get assists. Somebody's going to get points. Somebody's got to play that position. So somebody's going to put up some decent numbers. Is that him being really good and a good up-and-comer, or is it just him, getting...
The necessity of him.
Just the necessity of being out on the court. Just the reaping the rewards of being out there.
I guess I like the explosion.
I do
like
too.
the toughness, and I do like his vision.
The bulldog in him.
Yeah, I like the bulldog in him. I think he needs to continue to cultivate that, lean into it. I hope somebody has told him, hey, just so you understand, you are in the market where the bulldog is loved.
Yes.
Forever loved. And you've got this idiot football clown on the radio that he gloms on to anything that shows toughness and props them up like they're the king be-all. So just go after it. Like, I hope that he knows that this is the market to be a tough guy in.
Yeah. I mean, we wrapped
Not a fake tough guy.
Who was the cereal guy that everybody fell in love with? Captain. Well, no, that was Milt Palacio was Captain Crunch. But yeah, Trevor Booker. Everybody loved that guy. Trevor Booker shouldn't have owned Salt Lake City, but he did because
medium.
why?
He was medium.
He was tough.
Yeah, he was medium player, tough dude.
Really tough, angry dude, and people fell in love with that.
Same with Earl Watson.
Exactly. Earl Watson.
The pit bull.
Jay Crowder. People love Jay Crowder. Jay was a stinking black hole, man. There wasn't a three-point shot he didn't love, and he was like a 32% three-point shooter. He was not good, but you know what? People love the toughness. They love the aggressiveness. They love the way he played to the crowd. Jay Crowder could walk into Salt Lake City and never have to buy a mill the rest of his life.
Paul Millsap went from a second rounder to everybody's most beloved.
Yeah.
Just off toughness. And so when I watch Collier, I'm like, that's my guy. Take a hard fall, take a hard hit, take a hard charge, pop up off the court, get into the chest and the face of the player, and continue to push. And give me those dogged assists. Give me those drives through the lane. Give me the pocket power that he shows, and I really like him.
There is one litmus test that you and I both go by. If you receive or if a teammate receives a wet willy from a player, how do you respond?
Yeah, it's a big one.
Do you just shake it off and just stand at the free throw line? Do you see your teammate and you don't go and start to shove a dude around a little bit and just let him take it? No. You don't. And if you get up into a dude's face and you feel like, hey, we're going to go, because nobody's going to fight in the league. You just have to act like you want to fight.
Yeah.
Nobody's actually going to do it. You can be a tough, it's like, when somebody cuts you off in traffic and you honk your horn like, hey, idiot, and you're acting all tough, like you're going to throw fists at the next red light. Nobody's going to do that. It's never going to happen, but you want to at least say, hey, I'm angry and I don't like it. And, if you push me enough, I could snap.
Well, I like the guy that if he does get pushed enough and he gets slapped or pushed or hit, that he brings the heat.
Yeah.
Like he pours it on. That's the guy I want. Like nobody messed with Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. Nobody messed with Meta World Peace because they knew if he snaps, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So he's just going to get under my skin. And then do you remember that elbow he threw on Harden?
Oh, yeah.
That spinning elbow, it nearly killed James Harden. Hit him right in the tip.
Dropped it.
It's the nastiest illegal shot I've seen in the NBA in the 20 years I've covered it. Just a spinning elbow right to the temple of James Harden. I want you to be that type of crazy.
Yeah.
I want that guy on a Jazz roster. And I think Collier's the closest the Jazz have to it right now.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Or,
yeah, I'm just thinking, oh, no, I agree with you.
Or do you think there's somebody else that's that guy?
I just think, I heard an analogy once. You have two guys with a gun. One guy has it properly stored, has it in his everywhere it needs to be, has it cleaned and has it well protected. And then you got another guy who's just waving it around like crazy. Like, who are you scared of? The crazy guy with the gun.
Yeah. Who
Guess
should
what?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, who should you fear?
Yeah, that's the guy you need to be worried about because you never know what that guy's going to be up to.
Yep.
All right, 1229, Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hey, it's a Thursday. It's a Ute preview show. However, minus Frank Dolce. But that's all right. We got a lot of people to help out. We'll talk Utes from 1 to 3 right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's another battle for the Aggies, and the KSL Sports Zone has it covered. The Aggies head south to Las Vegas for a Saturday afternoon showdown against UNLV. Your home for all the play-by-play coverage of Aggie football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And we're back. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hans walking in.
Those smell good.
Is puffing out his chest a little bit more.
Yes, he
Guess
is.
who's got the blue check mark on the old X machine?
Everybody look at me.
I'm growing up, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm really growing up.
Elon got your $8 a month.
Yeah, he did.
He got mine.
He did. I do love, I like this version of Twitter better. I just feel like it's more hard-edged and you get more truth and everything's not blocked out. So I like this form of Twitter better. I don't like paying for Twitter. But you get a nice broad reach, apparently, if you get a verification. But as I was telling Lloyd, I had to send my driver's license, social security number, and bank account to an Egyptian prince. And now, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think it'll work out for you.
I'm hoping that it all goes well.
Yeah.
You think it will?
Luckily, you're protected by AFCU, so you're good.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
You're like calling up Dave Nellis like, hey, I've got all these withdrawals on my account from Uzbekistan. Can you help me with this? And he's like, you know what? We'll refund that money and we'll have a Pez dispenser coming your way.
Oh, that's our boy.
Yep. Dave Nellis, he's not messing around.
You know what's funny? So that I was telling you, I've got an America First Credit Union account. And
I love this.
And I put extra protections on it.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's this one is non-detectable.
Although you had it for like a day before you spilled the beans.
I know. I'm the worst. I am the worst. It was supposed to be a nice slush fund.
Oh, Mama's got you wrapped around her finger.
I wanted my own money for the first time. And so
This is mine.
I told you guys I'm taking a stand.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to open my own account.
I opened up an account and I put $20 of my own money in it. And I came to Scotty 2 days later. I'm like, I told Amanda. So she knows. She knows. But and I think she's happy to see her baby growing up.
Yeah, look,
know?
her baby Tatanka's grown up, has his own account.
But she did have asked to have access. So that and that's fine.
That's all right.
That's fine. 'Cause
She's
we
like,
share everything.
So $100 came out of the super private account. What was that for?
Oh.
So you're back to square one.
Not our trip to Hawaii, baby.
Is this a what's this ATM charge in Mesquite?
Oh, I can't hide anything from her.
Oh boy.
But when you love a woman,
Hey,
Scotty,
absolutely.
when you love a woman, you share everything.
Yeah.
Even your secrets.
Even
Your secret accounts.
my wife's like, you can't even lie to me because apparently she thinks I'm a bad liar. I don't know. Am I? But anyway.
What do you think, Lloyd? I don't know.
But
No, I think you lie pretty well.
I saw your phone call this morning. I promise. Well, yeah. Anyway, she says, "Yeah, you're full of crap." Like I'll say something. She's like, "That's not right," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you're right."
Yeah, but it's good.
Hey, you heard Bear Bachmeyer there? Like, hey, we're still confident. We're still fine. I'm not worried about BYU. I was a little like yesterday. We were talking about it, and I was trying to convince myself that BYU could have themselves a hangover. That emotionally they may not be in a good place coming off that first loss, and like last year where they strung back-to-back losses after starting off the season 9-0. I don't think that's going to happen here. I don't. And I thought you did a great job yesterday breaking down the numbers. Not only should BYU win, BYU should handle this.
Yeah, I do. And TCU's in a little bit of trouble. We had Brian Estridge on yesterday. You remember he was talking about Kavorian Barnes?
Yes.
Kavorian Barnes was listed as out of this game.
Yeah, he's out.
On the initial injury report. Kavorian Barnes has 100 carries, 443 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Your next guy is Trent Battle with 57 carries, 326 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Now, he does lead backs in touchdowns. He leads backs in average yards per carry, but Kavorian Barnes has been your workhorse. Trent Battle has 8 catches for 44 yards. So Trent really becomes the highlight and focus of the run game. So why is that important? Well, I think that BYU's got the defense to disrupt Josh Hoover. I think that they've got the defense that can run some pretty nice coverages against Eric McAllister, their leading receiver, who's one of the best in the Big 12. He's fantastic. But I think BYU's got the personnel that they can run the protections on Eric McAllister. They can run protections on Jordan Dwyer, and they can make it hard. They do have a good tight end in DJ Rogers that does some good things, 29 catches, 281 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. But I think TCU's in a little bit of trouble. They were already the 107th rushing offense in the country.
Yeah.
They were only rushing 123 a game. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's because they're getting in their pass game. Well, they're getting it in their pass game when they're going against a defense they can pass against. The problem is if you go niche against Jay Hill in this defense, I think that this defense can sniff you out.
When you're one-sided,
yes,
you're in trouble.
Yes. Now, I know Texas Tech, to a degree, was considered one-sided with Baron Morton. That's not the truth.
No.
That is not the truth. They use their pass game to get activated in the run game, and they've got a decent run game. It's not great. It's a decent run game, and they work a lot of play action off of it. If there's no consideration for Kavorian Barnes and Trent Battle can't get the job done, then I feel like you can get a certain disguised rush. You can get pressures, maybe not sacks, even though you got, was it 4 sacks against
Yes, 4.
Texas Tech? You got 4 sacks against Texas Tech. Why? Well, because you were focused on a non-dual threat quarterback, so you can rush a little bit more loose, a little bit more freely to see if you can get some pressure on the quarterback. So that's what you're going to do against Josh Hoover. So I think that this is the wrong defense to be pigeonholed against. Speaking about BYU.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the matchup really goes heavy towards BYU's favor. Another part, TCU's third down defense, not good. TCU's passing defense, not good. We're talking about bottom 100 in the country. It's just not good. Giving up 250 yards a game through the air, and their third down defense they've only stopped teams 55 times out of 133 attempts. So I like that. Now, look, BYU's third down offense is not good either. 85th in the country. They've converted 45 of 118. But TCU, their defense really struggles to get you off the field. They're 77th in fourth down defense. BYU's been great in fourth down offense and great in fourth down defense. So they've got some real advantages there. I just look at the matchup from most angles, and it's like BYU will be favored. They should be well favored in this game, and they know it's do or die right now.
Yes.
It is do or die for them. And Vegas only has them as a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I would take BYU.
Now, we've talked about the lines.
Yes.
We know what Vegas is trying to do.
100%. They're just trying to get you to bet money.
That's it.
What they're trying to do is, I think Vegas is having some fun with Provo this year. I think Vegas is just kind of poking the beast like, hey, you know what? You're just an app away from throwing some money in.
Yeah.
You're just a quick drive.
Look, 3.5, isn't that?
Come on, 3.5. You
Yeah.
want to put some money on that, right? You feel good about your team? Come on.
Do you know, I forgot to tell you, I had at least 5 Texas Tech fans at one point on that trip out to Lubbock say to me, either your team lost me money, because I'm in my broadcasting gear.
Yeah.
Your team either lost me money or walking into the stadium, hey, bumping me. I got that 11.5. It's like they're pulling in Lubbock fans because they're trying to even the line.
Yes.
And it's cracking me up because people don't get it. Like,
yeah, they think it's a disrespect.
Yeah, they love to look at it and say, oh, no. To a large degree, it does say, no, Vegas thinks BYU will win.
Yes.
But understand that the line is set to even out the betting. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So, they've got them as a 3.5-point favorite. BYU should win this game by double digits. They should. I mean, I don't want to get over my skis because the last time I called a BYU TCU game, it really sucked. It sucked. Josh Hoover.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
And that TCU defense, and that's a good TCU defense.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's really slowed down. This defense, they're 65th in total defense in the country, giving up 366 yards. 104th in passing defense, 250, and 35th in rushing defense, giving up 124. I feel like you can force feed these guys ground yards, personally.
Yep. All right, Hans and Scotty, what you may have missed coming up next, and then all Utah all the time. No Frank Dolce, but that's all right. Josh Furlong will join us for the first time coming up later today from KSL.com, so we'll have a chance to chat with him, Ute Insider as well. It's all right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars return home for a battle against TCU. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Woo!
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We are headed straight away for the clash of the Titans on Saturday. BYU versus UConn.
Yes.
Number 7 team in the country at BYU versus the number 3 team in the country in UConn.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Hall of Fame battle. It's going to be at TD Garden in Boston. Well, that's not really conducive for any team to be a home favorite.
Yeah, UConn fans will probably could make that trip fairly easily.
I want to know, what do you think of Dan Hurley? Are you a Dan? I mean, it's really hard to deny his success.
Great coach. I don't necessarily enjoy him as a person. Hate his antics on the sideline. Hate the way he treats broadcasters. Hate the way he treats officials. So there's not a lot of things I like about Dan Hurley. But, hey, the dude can recruit. The dude can flat out coach.
Well, he was pretty diplomatic. He was talking about this game coming up, and here's a couple of his comments talking about this BYU team he's going to match up with on Saturday.
Clips of BYU and AJ and Saunders, and They got one of the best point guards in the country. I mean, when you see that quality on film, I mean, you get scared straight. Things that worked the first 3 games won't work. But it's fun. We're excited to get a chance to go play in Boston this weekend versus one of the best teams in the country. So it should be fun. When you watch, clips of.
So obviously, this is going to be, as you mentioned, Clash of the Titans. Great test for BYU out of the gate. And I love that Kevin Young, he's been on a radio station. We've asked him personally about scheduling, and he's like, hey, look, you know what? One of the joys of being able to put this roster together is taking them out for a test drive and see what they can do and challenge them early so that when you do try to make that run in March, they're already battle tested.
Do you think he's playing the massage him and sweet talk him?
Oh, 100%, yes.
That's what I think, too.
No, that dude. I mean, look, does he have respect for BYU? Yes. Is he nervous about those matchups? Certainly. But he is very much going to play the game.
Well, it's going to be great because we'll get to see Terrace Reed. You get to see Solo Ball, who's phenomenal. You get to see Alex Karabin. These are some of the big-time ballers, big-time recruits, NBA draft perspectives and all these great things that you got going. Put this BYU team on the court. Let's go, man. Let's test the strength here. Let's see how far Kevin Young has taken this. Let's see how good A.J. DeMont is when the heat's on him. This is was it a 5 o'clock tip on Fox?
Ooh, I'm not sure on that one. Don't know.
I can't remember if it's 5 or 6. But this is on Fox Saturday. It'll be it is a 5 o'clock tip, local? Or is that Eastern?
No, it's Mountain.
5 o'clock Mountain. So Scotty, this is the one, man. This is the one. Now, I'll be headed to Provo to start the pregame at 6.
Is Greg calling football or basketball?
Boy, I hope football.
I would imagine football. They probably would have let you know if it wasn't.
I would hope football.
I think your boy Shep. I think your boy Shep's got the basketball call.
I hope I'm not solo.
Well, Oh boy, that'd be great.
I'd be like Garth when Wayne leaves the room.
This is weird.
Oh,
I don't know, man. It would be really uncomfortable. I guess it would be Jason Shepard.
Yeah, Shep would step in and do that. But I would imagine with the football team playing as well as they are, Greg will stay with football and he'll ship Shep out to Boston.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
Greg, if you're listening, give me a thumbs up, will you, bud? Ease my troubled mind.
Yes.
If you don't mind. But, that would be crazy, Lloyd. Because that's how I am. I'd show up in the booth.
You just looked at when Scotty brought that up. You looked at him so concerned, like.
How many times have I done this with Scotty's gone? It happened probably 2 or 3 times. You're gone and I forget. You've told me I forget, and I show up and Lloyd's like, "All right, you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Scotty's not here yet." "Oh, he's not doing the show." And it's like, what do I do?
Oh.
How do I proceed?
Or when Scotty says, "Hey, the Cougar Preview Show," it's like, "I'm not prepared for a Cougar Preview Show." Wait, what? What are we gonna do?
Zoinks!
Oh,
I'm prepared for Mammoth Talk.
You were saying you were trying to get one of the Mitches on. It threw me off.
Well, what do we got? 4 Mitches? Or do we got 5 Mitches?
We got a lot of
more
Mitches.
Mitches than I'd like.
Yeah.
Mitch, please. Come on.
We've got a pack full of Mitches. So I never know which Mitch it's going to be.
All right, 1 o'clock straight up. Hans and Scotty, this is 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.